Hey everybody, welcome to another video segment here. This hour I wanted to talk about a couple things. I know this may not be interesting to a lot of people, but it's just something that I noticed and it caught my attention, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it. And something, I'm loving our chats. Sorry I didn't post a video yesterday. But I'm loving our chats. I'm loving talking to you guys. I'm loving this time that we have together here. And it's really cool. I love posting these on YouTube. So I think we're going to continue that. And we'll throw a couple other things in the mix. Next time I go to the parks, we'll do that and things like that. There's a couple things I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about two things today. And one of the things that I'm going to talk about, I don't really have a huge right to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. So we have two things. So, first off, let's talk about the one of the most one of the things that is really popular right now. What a lot of people are talking about, and of course, that's the Jimmy Fallon ride, the Jimmy Fallon Race Through New York ride at Universal Orlando. Now, our Universal Studios. Now, I haven't been on this ride myself yet. I'm probably gonna go this Friday. I'm gonna go to the park and check it out. It's not something that I'm extremely looking forward to based on the reviews that I've read, but I want to say two things. First off, I've looked at the videos and things like that. I haven't looked at anything in the ride because no one's allowed to film the ride, so there hasn't really been any POVs of the actual ride portion. But what I've seen of the queue looks amazing. That part of it really intrigues me. But not enough to get me to rush out the door and go down there. Of course, when I go there, I'll have video for you guys, and you guys can join along with me. Join along with me that journey to that park. But the queue looks amazing. There's this history museum in there for the Tonight Show, which I really, really am I'm really into this. Learning about the history of the show, the host of the show, different props from them over the years. It's really awesome to see that stuff in there. And what I've seen, it looks awesome. And I appreciate what they've done with. They've added things from the Jimmy Fallon show now. The hashtag Panda, the barbershop quartet, things like that. So it's really cool to see things like that in the ride. It's cool to see that in the queue there. And, as you're waiting in line, you get to see all these amazing things that are tied into the Jimmy Fallon show. And I think that's great. I think this building, I also think the building is very nice. I think the NBC building looks great. I've seen it in person a few times. It looks spot on to what they have up in New York. So I think what's great about this attraction is they have the facade, and they can always change out whatever they want inside the attraction. I think in 5 years' time, if Fallon really isn't a thing anymore, then we can change it to something else NBC related, and you can continue to do that over and over and over again as long as they have that building. So it has some longevity there as far as the building's concerned. I don't know how long of a longevity the ride has, because it depends on how long Fallon is popular, which, I would imagine he's going to be popular for a while. He's a pretty funny guy. So I'm excited about the queue. I've heard about the ride. It's like a simulator type ride, and I've heard sort of the storyline of the ride. If you listen to our radio show on this last Friday, we had a guest or someone call in and tell us about the ride itself and the storyline and so on and so forth, and it seemed a little bit just all over the place and kind of crazy, and it really wasn't my cup of tea. But I'll ride the ride, and apparently from what I've seen from other people based on reviews, the ride is not great, but the queue is fantastic. And this kind of goes to my second point too. I feel I don't want to call myself press, because I'm not. I've been to media events before. I've been to press events before. I've been to all these things because I run a blog, and I think one of the things, and I'm going to contradict myself here, I think one of the things as a blog, what a necessity for a blog is you've probably heard this term before, influencer. We influence people to do things. And I think that's part of a blog is to sell things. If you really enjoy something, sell it. Sell it on your blog. Tell everyone to go there. Promote it. Promote the heck out of it. I love certain things at Disney, so I will go on and promote. I've promoted them before. Restaurants around town that I love, I'll promote those too. But I also think we have a duty to not only to be honest and to tell people when something sucks. And, with the Fallon ride, it's really shown a lot of people just don't have that, they don't want to do that. And I think a lot of that has to do with people not wanting to get kicked off of media list or press list for certain parks. I've seen this in the past with other bloggers and other even major papers and things like that, major media outlets where people have been kicked off the list because they gave negative reviews about a park or something like that. I've seen that happen. And it's if you think about it, if now what we're going through with political stuff, when you think about political stuff, if a major outlet like CNN is barred from a press event or something because they say something negative about a political person, or any outlet is, not just CNN, any outlet is barred from a political thing because they were saying something negative, people look at that and they're like, wow, that's that they pause. But I think when it comes to like outlets like this, like with theme park stuff, I don't think people really seem to pause, and I think they should. I think you should have faith or be able to trust the people that are writing these articles to give you a fair and honest review of how they feel about the ride. And from what I've seen a lot of people that post, they'll post all about the queue, and then you'll see nothing about the ride. They'll post amazing things about the queue, and then they'll say, well, this is what the ride is. And they won't give you a review on the ride. And it's just kind of dodging the issue, people just, you can, if you read between the lines, if you read the article, you can see that. But I really feel it's a lot of people's ways that, they're saying, I heard someone say, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And that's fine to an extent. But there are ways I think that we as media can go in, and once again, I'm calling myself media, but I'm totally not media, but people in the media can go into this and say, okay, the pre-show is great, but I have some points for the ride here to make it a little better. And while I think that you will enjoy the pre-show, you may not enjoy the ride itself, but don't skip the ride at all because the pre-show is amazing. And I think if you approach it that way and talk about the good stuff and mention the bad, but in a way, these are some things that we could do to make it better, I think that actually helps, because people, these creative people, they read what people write, they see all these things, multiple times I've been to events and these creative folks have brought up, oh, the internet's gonna go crazy today or something like that, so that stuff does happen, and they do look out for that stuff. So it's there's a way to do it. I think there's a way to be nice and be honest and say this is not the best thing ever, and that just pushes things to change, and it pushes for change in these attractions that we don't like, because if we don't say anything, it's just gonna never get any better. So I think we have a duty as that, and I think we also have a duty too as press to to say if something sucks, even if we get invited to something, or even just to be upfront. I mean, we have a legal duty now. I mean, I keep calling myself press, but I'm not press. We have a legal duty now. They have a legal duty now as press. I mean, I follow press bloggers, all this stuff. I mean, I used to be in that space. We don't really have the site anymore, but there's a legal precedence now where you have to disclose if you got something for free. You have to disclose if you were given something for free to write a review. And I think that happens a lot with blogs. People get something for free and they rant and rave about it, and then, it's, it may be horrible, but people are still ranting and raving, and people will go because of that. And I think that's a disservice. Another example of that is Planet Hollywood. I think there was a lot of people. I mean, I enjoyed my meal. I personally enjoyed my meal. There was a lot of people that I talked to that didn't enjoy their meal, but they still wrote articles that said, "Hey, look, I enjoyed this. It was fantastic." And they didn't really enjoy it. They say one thing one place and then say something different another place. And I think as media, we need to be honest. Our readers trust us. Or the readers or people who listen to my radio show, they trust us to give them a fair and honest review. And there's a way to do it without being, without being mean. There's a way to do it without hurting someone's feelings or just saying in general, this restaurant is horrible. Because there's always good in something if you look at it that way. Like, I'll tell you my experience with Planet Hollywood. I went the first day. The service from the waitress was fantastic, but the kitchen service, getting our food out in a timely manner, was horrible. But when our food did come out, the burger that I ordered was absolutely delicious. It was one of the best burgers I've ever had. So, there are positives and there are negatives, but if I had one thing to say to them, I'd say get your act together with the kitchen staff, and it seems like they have a little bit. But, opening day jitters, that's another thing you got to look at too. And I've heard stuff about the shakes, but that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is we need to be honest. We need to tell people these are how things change. These are how things get better. People listen to these reviews. They take them very seriously. And, I've seen a lot of people who, there's a lot of businesses that live and die by reviews and things like that. And there, when you're honest, that's when things change. So be honest if you do that stuff, and look for that when you people that aren't in that space, look for that when you read articles. Look for that kind of dodging, and find those people that you trust, find those people that you to be honest, and you'll go from there. I mean, I can tell you at these press events, they want you to there's always drinking and food and all kinds of things involved to kind of sway your decision to the other side. But as for me, myself, I will always give you an honest review. And if I review something, a restaurant or something, even if it's a press event, I'll tell you it's a press event up front, but I will tell you that if it's good or bad. That's always been my stance on this. And I think, I'm not the kind of person, if you, let's say I get invited to a media event for my radio show and they want me to review something on the air, a YouTube channel, whatever. I just don't do that. And if I never get invited again, so what? It doesn't matter to me if I get invited to things. I can do these things on my own, and I'll just go and review it that way. And I think the honesty wins a lot more than this stuff. So I promised you I was going to talk about two things here. But we have gone on for 13 minutes, and I need to cut this off because I want to keep this short for you guys. But remember to look for that honesty. Look for those people that are honest and will say something is bad. And the other side of it is too, it's not just look for them to say bad, but if people are constantly saying bad things about one thing and good things about another thing, because there's a lot of people too that'll say, well, everything Universal does is awesome and everything Disney does is horrible. Look for that too. There's sort of this bias thing in there too. So just keep an eye out for that stuff and know, and if you are a member of the citizen press, as my good buddy Ken Story likes to call them, be honest. There's things that I like at Disney, there's things I like Universal, there's things that I don't like at both. There's restaurants around town that I love, there's restaurants that I hate, but you will always get an honest review from me, and You can always come here to this channel for that. So until the next video, I hope you guys have had a great Monday, and we will see you tomorrow with another video. And I love you guys, and thank you for following me through all this. And spread a little love, like I say every day. Spread a little love to all your friends and family and everyone else in this world. Smile a little bit. It's Monday. Smile to someone. Give them that big smile and kind of brighten their world a little bit. You never know how far a smile can go when you smile at someone. So do that today and spread a little love. And there you go. Peace, guys.